We're talking about that today, isn't it?
Yes.
Because my first question is always, so what are you looking at working on?
Mm,
That's too funny. Well, I think we're just gonna get going because it
okay.
took us a while to get us sorted out here. Did you do a lot of walking? Is that why it was hard on your knees and hips?
Oh, not really. I
Oh,
mean, I did about 4 or 6 thousand steps a day.
oh, okay.
Not much.
Oh, just just different, I guess. Maybe you're sleeping funny or something.
I've stopped taking my turmeric. So
Ah, oh yes.
that'll have an impact.
Yes, it will. That inflammation is a tricky thing.
Yeah,
It
for sure.
lurks.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I God knows when I'm at a dog show, my body aches with all the standing on concrete.
Oh,
And that's where I really notice that if I miss a day, I am in serious trouble.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's just so much inflammation and uh, yeah, sedentary stuff. Even though you're getting tons of walks in, I mean, in a dog show, I tend to get 10,000 to 15,000 steps in a day. And
Wow.
but the standing on concrete just really kind of makes everything hurt more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this class tonight is all on bones, joints, and muscles. And I find it really a really good, actually quicker class. And it really is focused on dealing with muscle and joint stiffness, deteriorating cartilage, inflammation, and swelling. Those are the kind of key pieces that this class looks at because really nobody wants to spend time in pain. It impacts so many parts of our life. And for another piece I'm doing, I came across a statistic that 96% of people with chronic pain also have sleep disruption, significant sleep disruption. And so it really does kind of become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're in pain, you don't sleep. You don't sleep, you don't regenerate those muscles, nerves, tissues. You're in pain, and it just continues. So um, this class is really good because we really cover the basics and gets set up to start making some changes in our life. And you'll know how that your system works, but you know how the system already works. But you might know some things that you want to avoid doing, avoid eating, some things you might want to start implementing. So um, why don't we just get started and get going? And you have you said hip and knee issues right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you know this, but because we're recording it and I'm going to post it for people who are missing the class, I'm just going to do a quick overview of how does the musculoskeletal system actually work. Um,
Okay.
because I think there's not everybody understands how it all fits together. And this system includes your bones, your joints, your muscles, connective tissues like cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. So really all those kind of structural pieces to our body. And for people that aren't in the medical and the healthcare field, bones support your body. They protect your organs and tissues. They store calcium and fat, and they produce blood cells. And we have 206 bones in the adult body, and joints actually connect two bones together, and those is where our movement comes from. Now, muscles are made up of thousands of stretchy fibers, and we have more than 600 muscles in an adult body. And some of those muscles are voluntary, like the ones that you use to walk and dance or write your name. You use those ones intentionally. There's actually thought about, I want to step here, I want to walk, I want to dance. And then there are ones that are involuntary muscles, and those are muscles like the heart and the stomach, and those you use without even realizing it. They're very subconscious. Breathing, lungs, breathing is another one. So connective tissues are then a little bit different. Their ligaments are made from tough collagen fibers, and they connect bones and help to stabilize our joints. And then there's tendons, and they are made of tough fibrous tissue and collagen, and they connect muscles to bones. So ligaments connect bones together and then stabilize joints, and tendons connect muscles to bones. Then there's cartilage, and that protects bones from rubbing against each other. And you have cartilage in places like your nose, your ears, your pelvis, and your lungs. You also have cartilage in your knees. And so how does this all kind of pull together? Your brain sends a message to activate your voluntary muscles. Your muscle fibers then contract in response to the message. And when that muscle activates, it pulls on the tendon, which connects it to the bone. So then the tendon pulls on the bone, making it move. And then when you relax the muscle, the brain sends another message telling it to relax or deactivate. The muscle releases its tension, moves the bone to a resting position. So it's really quite uh, an intricate our movement is quite an intricate process. And the body has to really work together to provide this kind of structure and fluid movement. And if you've seen anybody who has had like a brain injury or a stroke and watch them relearn how to move, you notice how much more conscious and less smooth their movement tends to be. And that is the key. Like it's because we move so fluidly when we have everything working together. That's how we know when things are not working well, is when we're not moving fluidly. And so let's talk about some practical information about things that can damage your musculoskeletal system. Because you don't want to be doing things that cause harm to your system, that cause you unwanted pain or aches. And so let's look at a couple of things that we can avoid to help our system stay healthy longer. Now, there are many things that can cause pain to our body. Aging is one of them. Injuries, diseases, arthritis, cancer, congenital disorders. But one main area that people tend to minimize is diet. And a poor diet can be dangerous to your musculoskeletal system because certain foods can cause inflammation in your body, which equals pain and immobility. So processed meats, like deli meats, fried food, high amounts of alcohol, high amounts of soda, candy, refined grains are all actually considered foods that can increase inflammation in your body. Now, for some people, gluten and dairy can also cause inflammation. And so you may also want to consider your sources of fat in your diet. We all need fat in our diet, but you might want to consider your sources of it. Highly processed refined vegetable oils are rich in omega-6 fatty acids. And while it's not, omega-6s aren't necessarily bad, they can cause inflammation if it's not met with an appropriate level of omega-3s, which come from things like fish and avocado and nuts and seeds, things like that. Smoking can also be very damaging to your musculoskeletal system because nicotine causes your blood vessels to constrict or narrow. And so there's less blood flow throughout the body and to your major organs. So this means there's less oxygen and nutrients for your cells. And we definitely don't want that because all the structures in our body are made up of cells. And the last thing that's really damaging to your musculoskeletal system is stress. An abundance of stress causes an overactive immune system. We've all heard about, the fight, flight, or freeze mechanisms in our ancient brain that kick into play when we are under stress and cortisol is released in our body. But an abundance of those stress hormones can create an overactive immune system, which is also called an autoimmune disorder. And that typically means that there's inflammation in our body, which can cause weakness and even lead to tissue degeneration. So inflammation is a huge player in the damage to this system. So which of these things, Lisa, do you think is any of these things at play in your body?
Oh yes, our diet wasn't as good when we were away,
Yeah.
and I have health issues that will impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the occasional soda, but not as much as I used to. I don't eat very many sweets.
Yeah. I don't think they mean the occasional one. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who have soda daily.
Oh no, no.
And
Yeah,
that over time can cause issues. So, I mean, none of this is to say that we want people to cut out everything that they love to do, but you just want to be conscious and aware of, if your body is aching, maybe you cut these things out for a while you recalibrate your body, and then,
yeah,
slowly add them back as a treat once in a while.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
But even though there are some ways we can damage our system, there's some really easy ways that we can care for our bones, muscles, and joints. And these are actually super easy to do. And they don't cost anything really. The first one is be active. If you don't move, you will deteriorate. Use it or lose it is what I used to tell my father-in-law. And the less you move, the more muscle loss you use, the less bone strength you have. Um, Inactivity can lead to stiff, tense muscles, which worsen things like arthritis. They cause unnecessary strain on our joints. Weak muscles also put us at much greater risk for injury and overcompensation for that. So the easiest thing to do is to get regular exercise to strengthen and stretch your muscles, and increase circulation, and that will help alleviate any pain you're currently experiencing. Now, it may seem counterintuitive that if you're in pain, you should move more, but there's a couple of things that play in. When you move, you release endorphins in your body. Those help you feel better. And you also exercise and strengthen those parts of your body that are currently hurting. Um, Low impact exercise like swimming or yoga or cycling, walking is probably one of the best things to do. And because it's easy, you can do it just about anywhere in any weather. So though that is one of the most important things that we can do to help care for our musculoskeletal system, is to actually keep moving. I have a notification on my watch that tells me if I've been sitting too long and it's time to get up and be moving. The second thing that we can do, super easy, is to eat anti-inflammatory mineral-rich foods. And at the top of the list is eating vegetables that contain sulfate, like broccoli and cauliflower and garlic and cabbage and onions, because that can help build cartilage. You also want to include fruits and vegetables that contain bioflavonoids, blueberries and blackberries and cherries, cinnamon, acai, red cabbage, onions. Those help strengthen connective tissue and encourage collagen production, especially if you pair it with vitamin C. And Young Living actually makes this part really easy because Nature Red contains many of these fruits, and is truly delicious. And it actually does work as a significant anti-inflammatory in our body. Another thing that you can eat that is very helpful for this system is bone broth, because it's so full of collagen. It contains tons of joint healthy ingredients like glucosamine and chondroitin. It also contains calcium and magnesium, phosphorus, silicone, and sulfur, because you boil those bones and you pull those nutrients out of the bones. It's really easy to make. You can freeze it, and take out small batches as you go. Beautiful in the wintertime just to have a cup of bone broth. Very, very nourishing. But then you also might want to consider including things like chia seeds and flax seeds and chickpeas and eggs and healthy fats like avocado oil and ghee. All of those are very good and anti-inflammatory because they contain omega-3 fatty acids, and that can help reduce the inflammation in your body. And you can also get omega-3s from things like fish oil capsules. Foods high in zinc actually help in the production of connective tissue. So those foods are things like lamb and grass-fed beef, oysters and sesame seeds and pumpkin seeds, all are high in zinc. Foods high in copper help our natural collagen actually mature. And those are foods like avocado, cacao, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, and cashews. They're all high in copper. Foods high in phosphorus help us to maintain healthy bones and teeth. And phosphorus can be found in fish and poultry and beef and eggs, milk products, almonds, lentils, peanuts, and pumpkin seeds. Implement Epsom salt soaks. This is a lovely magnesium soak, and helps to pull out toxins out of your body, but also helps put magnesium into your body, which is an incredibly important mineral in our bodies. And it's a super inexpensive thing to do because you can buy Epsom salts in big containers at the drugstore, and every couple of days, every 3 or 4 days, have a good soak in Epsom salts. It helps to reduce the inflammation and get some magnesium back in your body for your circulation system. And then always consume high quality supplements when you can't get enough of the foods that we talked about, with the minerals that we talked about, to get your body up and going. Reducing your stress is probably one of the biggest things that we can do for our body, and because stress triggers inflammation and it accelerates the aging process. So finding ways to implement relaxation and rest into our schedule is super important. Slow walks, yoga, meditation, do some technology vacation time, reduce your caffeine intake, and then set some really healthy boundaries with your schedule, all help to reduce your stress level. Other things can include using essential oils to encourage relaxation, going on nature walks, doing deep breathing or breath work. Very, very good ways of helping your body to relax. What else? Also then anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric, like you were saying, are also very great for your musculoskeletal system. Okay. Young Living has a golden turmeric drink, which supports the body's natural response to inflammation, immune response, joint health, and mobility. And also it helps curcumin, which is the ingredient in turmeric. It really helps your body recover after physical exertion. So if you've gone out for a long walk, or if you've done a lot of work in the garden or something, you can have turmeric and it will help your body to recover after that. There's also Amino Wise, which is what I take in my morning drinks, and it is an amino acid combination. It has branched chained amino acids that help target our muscles and support our muscles. And I use that because I have, because of my heart condition and because of the kind of side effects for some of the medications that I'm on that target muscles in my body. There's also one called BLM, which is supports for bones, ligaments, and muscles. It has type 2 collagen. We're going to talk a bit about collagen here in a minute, because there's a couple of kinds of collagen, and it's important to know the difference when we're talking about targeting it to bones, muscles, and joints. MSM, which is organic sulfur, we talked about that in the foods that we eat. It is probably the single biggest supplement that I take that does the most for my body. I'm actually amazed at how much pain and stiffness are out of my body, but it also targets our immune system and supports our immune system. So it helps in a bunch of ways. It's been clinically shown to help with allergic rhinitis, which is stuffiness from seasonal allergies. Lots of people take glucosamine, and then manganese citrate is another mineral that we should have in our diet. Do you take supplements? Lisa?
I used to, but I've had a medication change, so I'm not taking any for the next month.
Yep.
And then I'll know whether or not I can take them again after I've finished
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
thing. So that's part of my problem, I know.
Yeah. It is really important to make sure that you talk to your pharmacist about what you want to take when you're on a medication regime, because you just, you know, supplements are powerful ingredients and we want them to act on our body. But when we have things that we take, there could be interactions. So you want to be safe, and your pharmacist is a great resource to figure out what you can take and when. Because I know with me, I take my supplements at off hours to my medications. So the other thing, that impacts our musculoskeletal system as women of a certain age is menopause. And it's amazing the list of menopausal side effects that impact our body. Mood swings, hot flashes, fatigue. And one of the more common symptoms of menopause is achy, swollen joints. And a lot of physicians don't tend to recognize that as a condition, as a side effect of menopause. Because the thing is, our primary hormone as females is estrogen. Has a protective relationship with joints, and it reduces inflammation. And so in menopause, our estrogen is dropping and inflammation can increase. And that's why our risk of osteoporosis and osteoarthritis can go up. And so we can get painful joints. So you might want to do some, if you've never thought about osteoporosis before and you are starting to go into menopause, do some research, get some information. There's some really good resources out there. But we do know that going through menopause puts women at risk for developing osteoarthritis when they are in postmenopause. And that is characterized by swollen and painful joints. The two often go hand in hand. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative joint disease and is very common in people. And the joints that are most commonly affected are the ones that take the most weight bearing. Your big toe, who'd have thought it? Your knee, of course, your hip joint, and your spine. And then people who have sustained sports injuries are also at a greater risk of degeneration of the joint that they injured. And so, you even have to take that into consideration when you're thinking about what's the source of the pain that I'm having. And common everyday activities produce wear and tear on joints, particularly if our body weight is increased, which happens in menopause because of the lack of estrogen. So even a 5-pound weight gain transmits 5 times more pressure to the lower body joints. So maintaining a good body weight is very important to your pain level, which goes back to the point about moving your body. And then stretching and strengthening is super important because that is how you help stabilize your joints. And since tendons and cartilage don't have any direct blood vessels, movement in the form of activity, particularly kind of aerobic activity that gets your heart rate up, is really important for diffusing oxygen and nutrients into those areas. If you've known anybody who's gotten like an Achilles tear or a tendon tear, they take a very long time to heal and recover from because they don't have any direct blood vessel involvement there. It takes a long time for those things to heal. So the key is to keep you from having that happen by moving and gentle exercise and stretching and strengthening. So now we're going to talk about a few of the specific supplements that Young Living has that supports these processes in our body. The first one is Agile Ease. It is our main joint health supplement. It supports healthy cartilage, flexibility, and mobility, and works with our body's natural response to inflammation. All Young Living supplements have essential oils added to them, but this one also has frankincense powder in it. And that's for inflammation. It has type 2 undenatured collagen. So type 2 collagen is like your cow collagen, cow chicken kind of collagen. It's your land-based collagen. It is the one that works the best for tendons and cartilage and bones and joints. And then, like I said, an essential oil blend, wintergreen, copaiba, clove, and Northern Lights black spruce. The copaiba is there because it's an amazing pain oil. So is wintergreen, so is clove. This is the supplement that helps protect your joint and cartilage health for better movement. Here. So menopausal joint pain, if you're in menopause and you're having joint pain, there's a few vitamins that are really super important to take to help the specifics of menopausal joint pain. Vitamin D, which really isn't a vitamin, but it's a pre-steroid hormone, is super important. And I have a link at the bottom that talks about what I can do for my joint pain by Dr. Holly Thacker, who really talks about using vitamin D as a way of protecting your bones and joints in menopause and post-menopause. MSM is the organic sulfur that I was talking about. In Young Living, it's called sulfurzyme. It has been shown to reduce pain, improve function, and reduce some stiffness. And glucosamine chondroitin. Now that's another one that is good to take. It is in the Agile Ease supplement, and it needs to be taken for at least 2 months before you see any effect. And then there's turmeric, which has been shown to have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer, and possibly anti-atherosclerotic effects, which means it's good for your heart. Estrogen is really important for your musculoskeletal system because there are even estrogen receptors in your cartilage and your tendons, which is why postmenopausal women with low estrogen, with naturally low estrogen, because you're postmenopausal, may complain of joint pain and stiffness. So there's a real cause for it. Low estrogen can also exacerbate tendinitis. And estrogen therapy is not generally given for joint pain unless the woman is suffering from other menopausal symptoms. But it's shown that women who undergo total joint replacements, who are on a postmenopausal estrogen, actually do better than those who are not on hormone therapy. Now, hormone therapy is a whole topic in and of itself, and women get to choose whether they do this or not. I did not do estrogen therapy because my mother died from estrogen receptive breast cancer. So I am very hyper aware of that kind of link in my family. Other women I know have done it, and it has alleviated a lot of their postmenopausal symptoms. It's truly up to you. You just need to go in knowing the pros and the cons and make a decision that's right for you. Let's see. MSM, methyl sulfonoleth methane. That's a big one. Again, it's sulfurzyme. So we're going to just talk about sulfurzyme here. It comes in 2 forms. It is a naturally occurring organic form of dietary sulfur that plants tend to bring out of the ground. If your vegetables are grown in sulfur reduced areas, you're not going to be getting that. And sulfur is actually needed by our bodies every single day because it maintains the structure of proteins, it protects cells and cell membranes, and it replenishes the connections between cells. And it also preserves the molecular framework of connective tissue. It's like super important in our bodies every single day. It is the one I take the most of, actually. Out of all of the supplements that I take, MSM is the one that I take the most of. And then sulfurzyme goes one step further than just the MSM. It adds actually wolfberries, which are the goji berries that we find in Ningxia Red. And that is because wolfberry, it has one of the highest antioxidant ratings on the ORAC scale that you get. It's higher than pomegranate juice. So the combination of MSM and wolfberry is amazing. Wolfberries also contain coenzymes that support the metabolism and assimilation of the sulfur. So they're really symbiotic, and it's a wonderful supplement. It helps support your liver, circulatory system, and your immune system. It comes in either a powder that you can mix in a drink, or it comes in capsules. Now the powder is sweetened. So I think it's probably with Reb M, which is a fermented form of stevia. I'm not positive about that, but it is sweetened with a non-sugar sweetener. The capsules are unsweetened. So I get those because I share all my MSM, all my sulfurzyme with my dogs. My dogs get 2 capsules a day. They can have the powder out of the capsule, whereas they can't have the powder that comes just with the powder because it is sweetened with something that dogs can't have. Works fantastic for their skin and coat, for their joint movement. It's really quite amazing. And then golden turmeric, of course, we talked about turmeric already, but the golden turmeric that Young Living sells, they have produced it in such a way that it makes it 24 times more bioavailable than standard turmeric. So you are getting the full hit of curcumin when you are ingesting golden turmeric. The other thing that is really helpful is ginger essential oil, which is a really interesting oil. It is obtained from the root of the ginger plant. It's traditionally used, of course, as food flavoring and a herbal remedy. And it is fabulous for your digestion, for healthy weight management, and you can take it internally. You can apply it also in a massage oil to your joints to help warm up those joints and muscles after a workout. It's really quite an amazing thing. So that is the information on the supplements that are available from Young Living that would be most appropriate for bones, joints, muscles, cartilage, tendons. And I just want to take a moment. I know, Lisa, you know this, but for the people who will be watching this later, there are 3 ways that you can get Young Living products. You can buy them retail, just like going to a store. You can sign up with Young Living and become a member, and you automatically get wholesale pricing, which is 24% off of retail pricing. So why would you pay retail? Some people do, some people choose that. But you can get it at a wholesale price. There's no obligation other than once a year, a total order of over 100 product value to keep the membership alive after you sign up initially. And then the third way, which is the way that gives you the most bang for your buck, is by putting these products on our loyalty program, which is a monthly ordering program where you can order every month what you want, what you need, have it delivered to your house, and earn points back into your account that you can spend on other products. And this is a hugely generous program, because the first 3 months that you're on it, you get 10% of your orders value back in your account as points. From month 4 to month 24, you get 20%. So it doubles. You get 20% points back into your account to spend on other things. And then from month 25 onward, for as long as you remain on the program, you get 25% back. So I've been on the program almost 2.5 years, just a little over 2.5 years. And so I'm getting 25% of the value of my purchases that I make in the loyalty program back into my account that I can spend on other things. So I have been probably 20 months now where I have ordered all of my Ningxia Red using my points. I've paid just shipping to have it come here, and every couple of months I'll order 8 bottles of Ningxia Red. It will come to my house and I will pay about $18 in shipping for that. And that's because I use the loyalty program. Now, you don't have to order the same thing every month. You don't even have to have it come on the same day every month. You can change the date, the processing date every month. You can change all of the items in the basket every month. So that you are only purchasing what you need. You're not getting anything you don't need or want. And then on top of that, depending on the value of your order, you may get free things from Young Living, oils or soaps, or this month there was a deodorant at one level. So you get all of that for free on top of the on top of the percentage you get back in points, and on top of the 24% off for wholesale purchasing. So Young Living tries to make it as easy as possible. And it's just like ordering from Amazon, but with way better perks. And the best thing is that you know that you are getting the absolute highest quality products that will help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve with your body. So that is our presentation for tonight. Thank you, Lisa, for joining me. I know that you probably still are suffering from jet lag. No?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. But
Oh, that's good.
thank you for the tips. I've definitely picked up a couple of
Good.
suggestions I'm gonna
Yeah.
try. So
I like the food tips, you know, the things that you can start eating a bit more of that help increase some of those kind of weird minerals and vitamins that you don't really hear about a lot.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, and that's the point of our community. Our community is here to support the goals that individual members have and to come alongside as we walk, trying to make our health as good as we can. And that is our goal for every class that we have. And thank you for joining me. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
Bye for now.